Hey guys, Hailey Lain, aka Key Black here, and welcome back to another episode of Off the Cuff. And as promised, I do want to talk some more about Inuyasha. More specifically, I want to talk about, the female characters in Inuyasha, because this is something that's been on my mind lately, and I'm really seeing it take front and center stage in Inuyasha. As a kid, I feel like I struggled a lot with liking female characters, especially if they were main characters. I don't know how much of that is to blame on, I never really saw that many good shows with female main characters, or how much of it I can blame on just me being an adamant tomboy, like I mentioned. It's I don't want anything to do with girly stuff, and I kind of feel like it has more to do with the latter. But at the same time, by the time I started getting more interested in, I guess, romantic-y kind of stuff, I started noticing a lot of the female characters in the stories that I would kind of dip my toes into were... they kind of felt either like Mary Sue's, or they felt like the strong female character, don't need no man, where it's that doesn't feel like how girls actually act. I don't really have anything intelligent to say on that other than just it just felt like they were either contrived in one way or contrived in another. And I'm just really personally sick of the strong female character trope. But I've been really enjoying how much I've liked the gals in Inuyasha. And it's just, it's not just Kagome, it's also with Sango, it's even with Kikyo, despite me thinking at first I wasn't really gonna like Kikyo. They're ladies, they're not just boys in skirts or the strong female character type that I mentioned, right? Kagome is hilarious, first off. She's immensely relatable. I believe that she's some 16-year-old gal just kind of getting to this, getting through her rebellious, independent phase without being too much of a brat about it. She's very likable, very believably likable too, practically all the guys in the show are fawning over her, and that doesn't feel contrived either. It feels a gal like that, I can totally see every guy being completely smitten with her. Obviously I want her and Inuyasha to get together, but I've also just been enjoying Koga. It's also hard not to root for not only Kagome, but also for all the folks that she runs into and all the folks that it's very hard to put into proper terms. It's just nice to see a character depicted like Kagome is in a story without it feeling forced or without it feeling somebody felt the need to make a female character for the sake of saying, look at me making a female character, do you kind of get what I mean by that? It's very hard to describe. And I had the same initial worries with Sango. I was originally worried oh boy, here we go with the Mary Sue type. She's gonna have the tragic backstory, I guess. And I don't feel that way about her. She's very likable, and she's not a carbon copy of Kagome either. She's a completely different kind of character, but she's also extremely likable. And same thing with Kikyo, especially with Kikyo, actually. I really expected not to like her. To be honest, she's current least favorite character, and that's for a number of reasons. Number one, I think just being the fact that she's so in the wrong in her motivations. It's hard not to watch what she's doing and going, Kikyo, stop, please, you know what you're doing is wrong. But at the same time, that's kind of why she's kind of likable. She's sympathetic, I'm rooting for her in a different ways. I really liked the depiction of how Inuyasha felt about her during her introductory saga, where it kind of ends with her realizing Inuyasha wants her to die, not because he wants her dead, but because he's looking at her as oh my god, you are tortured as hell, and you are not the person you used to be, and it is clearly miserable for you to continue to exist like this. I want peace for you. And it's funny because as I'm kind of going through this series and I'm seeing what Kikyo's like now versus what she was like when she was alive, I'm kind of rooting for the same thing. I actually like the person that she used to be, and I feel bad for her now, but I'm just you need peace, gal. You need to stop. And this is all kind of to say just I really want to see more ladies written like this. A lot of the series that I've been watching lately, I mentioned G Gundam, I've mentioned Rurouni Kenshin, I mentioned before that I watched Giant Robo a while back. There's Ginrei in Giant Robo, there's Rain and Allenby in G Gundam, there's Kaoru in Rurouni Kenshin, all the gals so far in Inuyasha. these series, I think, really were the first time I'd seen ladies written this way, and I don't know, I feel like that's missing for a lot of modern stuff. I don't need more strong female characters. I have zero interest in, like, replacing the guys with gals for the sake of replacing guys with gals. If I see a female character, I want to see her being like a believable female character. What would a lady be like in that situation? Like, even with Allenby, like, I kind of didn't care for her at first, but by the end I was like, that. First off, okay, yeah, we're kind of the same kind of woman. Second off, she ended up doing something really critical to get Domon doing what he needed to do by the end of the series, and I'm trying to avoid spoilers still. You guys really should watch G Gundam. But, like, she ended up being a really key factor and a really likable character by the end, and I'm just like, damn, where are the ladies like this in modern stories? Like, these are fun. Oh, but man, I've just been really thoroughly enjoying these retro animes, and I feel like I'm being refreshed by something I didn't realize consciously that I was missing. At any rate, guys, I think I'll cut it off there. I probably have more to say on this topic, and I'll probably, like, comment on it as I continue to watch more stuff. I just started watching Getter Robo, the one where the first 3 episodes were directed by Yasuhiro Imagawa. So we'll see how I feel about that one. But guys, thanks so much for listening and for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.